Are you a sexy cam girl?
I don't think I'm a sexy cam girl, no.
You could be. You could be.
If the money's right.
M.
Oh.
M. Mom! Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta.
Today's guest just started wearing makeup. It's Kim Chi.
Hello, thank you
Hi.
for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I'm such a huge fan of the show, so it feels like a dream come true to finally be here.
I'm a huge fan of you. I just learned that you recently started driving.
Yes.
And this is like not the weather to be driving in. As we're recording today, it's raining outside and it's flooding in certain parts. How do you feel about being a driver in LA?
So I only started driving because during the pandemic, when I need to go to the grocery store, I'll call an Uber and it'll be a 40-minute wait because there weren't that many Ubers around.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I buy my groceries and I'm holding like bags of groceries because I buy everything at once, I'm waiting in the parking lot for almost like an hour sometimes just to like for an Uber to come get me. So I'm like, I got to learn how to drive. But surprisingly, it was pretty easy. I'm a video gamer.
Okay.
So every time I get in the car, I think of myself as like, all right, I'm playing a game today. Let's not crash this like I usually do.
Right, right. And do you mostly just do like local driving, or do you go drive far away for gigs, that kind of thing?
So when I first learned, I got excited. So I started driving everywhere. I drove to Vegas and back by
Oh my
myself.
gosh.
And then I got a gig in San Diego and I'm like, do you want us to get you like a flight or like arrange a car? And I'm like, no, I'm going to drive there and don't even book me a hotel because I'm going to drive back that night.
Was it overwhelming?
It was fine until on the way back, I put in the wrong address. I'm not going to say like what the street name was, but I spelled one letter wrong. And it took me to a house on the opposite of where I was supposed to be. So I ended up going like 3 miles away from my home as opposed to like hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
But these are the lessons you learn.
They are the lessons you learn. When did you, I'm sure you've always dabbled in makeup, but when did you realize like, this is going to be an empire? Like, was there a point where you went, I'm not just the model. This is an empire, because it is.
Yeah. It turned out that way. And I'm like very shocked at every day at the life I get to live thanks to makeup, because I'm an accidental drag queen. For Halloween one year, my best friend at the time was like, let's do drag for fun on Halloween. So then we went to Walgreens, bought some crappy makeup, and then practiced for like a month. And then we went out on Halloween, and that's how I got started. I think it was like a year after I started doing drag. I started gaining a lot of traction on Instagram, and a lot of people started praising my makeup. And even then, I never felt like I was good at it. But I got a lot of love and support from everybody. So I was like, oh, maybe this could be my niche.
Yeah, for sure. And then for people to see that it exists in such a mainstream way, you know, I feel like when I see something like that, of course, you're proud and you're happy for another drag entertainer, another queer person. But at the same time, it's like there's a selfishness that says, oh my gosh, that representation's for all of us. Like, it really is for everyone. And it's something to be just so proud of, because especially now more than ever, do you know what I mean? For people to realize that your product, literally, it may show up in, say, an advertisement. It's sitting on people's coffee tables, whether they want it to or not, because it can't be denied. That's so exciting to feel that. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah. So when I created my company, one of my dream was, so you know, like Cody Airspun powder, you see it in your grandma's like, you know, shelf, and we all know what it looks like.
Right.
I was like, it would be so cool if my product could be that product where like people for generations, even when I am no longer on earth, but the legacy of my product carries on. And a lot of people tell me like I can't get in drag without like this product, and that makes me so happy. And as cheesy as it sounds, like I truly mean it.
No, it's not cheesy at all. It's so cool. How do you come up with some of the names? Because the names are
Mhm.
super, super creative, as they should be. I mean, you can't just say like lime colored eyeshadow. Like it has to say something fun. Where do those come from?
Me as a person, I don't really take anything seriously. I mean, I take like work seriously and being professional seriously. But when it comes to like how I live my everyday life, all my friends know like I joke about everything and never take anything seriously. So I wanted my products to be like lighthearted and fun, and I think that's what makeup should be. It should be fun, and it shouldn't be too serious.
Yeah. What is your approach? Do you like to paint with creams? Does it depend on the day and the face?
I'll try different methods. I guess now because I'm so familiar with like makeup and how it works, even if something goes wrong, it's easy for me to fix it. And that's also one of the reasons why like I don't really do like the same exact face twice, because
Right.
I don't know how to do it twice.
Really?
It's just
Really? So if you had like a default face, like if you were in a pinch and somebody was like, you've got an hour to do your makeup and be ready, would you have like a go-to for that?
I would just play, but normally my makeup does not take long.
Really?
Yeah, most faces don't take me longer than like an hour to hour and 30. So
What about do you have a makeup application for a date face for if you were having gentleman callers?
this is my weirdest thing. So when I'm not doing drag, I don't like to wear any makeup. I feel like I'm like all or nothing kind of a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I were to put makeup in as a boy, I'll feel weird just not fully doing my face. So I don't even know how to do like makeup as a guy.
What about if somebody said like you had to do a bridal makeup on your face? Could you do a bridal makeup?
I could do like a drag version of a bridal makeup,
Yeah.
but I feel like so many of like the real woman makeup, it's about like perfecting the subtlety, and subtlety is not something I'm not very good at.
And why should you be?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. So you were talking about starting drag on Halloween, which I feel like is like a rite of passage. It's kind of like the way a lot of people do start drag. And obviously you knew Pearl at that time.
Yes.
Right? What was it? Was there like a costume that you wore, or was it just like, I'm going to do drag?
So I went to the thrift store and I found this polka dotted sequined sweater.
Okay.
But I'm like, oh, it's sequin. It's drag. It was not drag at all. And then I was like, oh, this kind of looks like Minnie Mouse. So let me buy these like $3 Minnie Mouse ear at the costume store.
Okay.
So then go out as like a Disney princess. So then my drag name, I was trying to decide between Jizzney Princess,
Okay.
or Lucy Lube. I don't know why.
Lucy Lube.
Yeah.
I live.
But I went out as Jizzney Princess and told everyone, hi, I'm Jizzney.
And they lived, of course.
Yeah, but then after that first time, I'm like, all right, my name's got to change.
Wait, what year was that, would you say?
It was 2012.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you're now approaching, I don't know, I'm not a mathematician.
13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a long time in drag.
It is a long time.
That is a very, very long time in drag. Who do you think would play you in the life story? Maybe they would be like, maybe they would focus on Kim Chi Chic Beauty and it would be like the executive of the company.
Hopefully Bowen Yang.
Okay.
I feel like he's so funny, and also I think he's so cute.
Yeah. A doll.
Yeah.
A total doll. A total doll. When I'm always fascinated by your makeup. I think obviously everyone's fascinated by it because, like you said, you don't do the same face every time. And even if it's like just a small tweak here and there, it makes so much difference. Would you say, like, if you did not have your own products and you had to take your makeup off, would you do like a makeup remover? Would you do like some people do? I've seen people do dish soap just to dig it all off.
Really?
I know it robs your face. I mean, it's really bad, but they like doing that. What would you use back in the day?
Oh, back in the day, I didn't even know about like the makeup remover, so I would just use soap and then like rub my face for like almost an hour, like in the shower, trying to get it all up, and my face would be so scratched and burning.
Yeah, like nothing to emulsify it at all.
Yup.
Oh my gosh.
And then I discovered Neutrogena makeup wipes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I mastered the art of only using one wipe to take my entire face off.
Uh-huh.
But then, of course, with shrinkflation, they changed their formula.
Oh yeah.
They used to be thicker, and I could just get everything up in one, but now I need like 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're much like thinner and brittle, and they used to be like moisturizing, but now it's not anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you had an amazing product and you would. I'm fine paying more. Like, don't change the original formula.
I'm so with you on that. I mean, I say it all the time. It's like I don't expect it for free. I mean, the product's going to cost what the product's going to cost. If you have to put the money into it, if there has to be, just give me what I need.
Yeah. It's like, if you have a successful formula, when you change the formula, you're going to alienate the original audience.
Yeah.
You know, like Panera, I heard they don't even bake fresh goods in the store anymore.
They just ship them in.
That's what I heard from the Panera employees.
You're spilling all the company secrets.
It's like, you know, I used to love Panera, like in my teens. Who goes to Panera anymore?
I know people do. People say it tastes like hospital food, but I like that.
I mean, yeah. No,
I'm fine with it.
Back in my day, you picked two with Frontega chicken panini and French onion soup for $5. Like, would satisfy me. Now you can get like a crappy sandwich for $20.
Yeah, for sure. Crappy sandwiches for $20. Let's take a break. Are you ready to reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that you can't beat? Look no further. Factor is here. Factor has incredible gourmet meals that are ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. Did I mention these meals arrive fresh and fully prepared directly to my doorstep? My favorite item I had this week was the Santa Fe-style green chili beef skillet with jalapeno creamed corn and green chili rice. I savored every bite of this Tex-Mex style skillet. The hearty base of roasted garlic and parsley potatoes paired great with the tender ground beef mixed with a chili salsa verde. Topping off this meal was a sprinkling of smoking cheddar cheese and scallions with a side of jalapeno creamed corn with sauteed leeks. Is your mouth watering yet? Because baby, let me just say, this meal was it. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/verydelta50off and use code verydelta50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code verydelta50off at factormeals.com/verydelta50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. We are back with Kim Chi. This show, obviously, we know there's bigger fish to fry in the world. There's a lot of problems going on, but we fry the small fish because that's just all we can handle. Is there anything happening to you right now, a small fish that's just needs to be fried? Anything that's been on your nerves? Any one person, one place?
Okay, so this is my personal beef with sweet greens.
Mm.
Sweet green was like my hyperfixation meal for a while. I don't know. I just love a good fresh salad.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get in the store, the portions are big, it's fresh, ingredients are just like abundant and flowing. But if you ever order sweet greens for delivery, the portions are half the price. And after I get my salad, if the portion's small, like I'm not gonna go into the store and like argue like why is my salad so small? Like, and they probably know that too, which is why they make it so small to keep the food costs down.
Yeah.
But we live in an economy where I'm paying $20 for a salad. Of course, I could have made the salad at home, but that's not why I ordered it, you know?
Right.
Like, why is it that when I order a salad for delivery? First of all, it took me enough courage to order salad for delivery of all the choices I could have ordered. There's like hundreds of options that I could have ordered, and I chose you, a salad. How dare you be small? You had one job as salad, and that is to keep me full with volume while feeling like I'm eating healthy. How dare you send me a small salad for $20, which is almost $30 plus like delivery fee and tax and tip. And that really pisses me off.
I agree. The promise is what did I order? Every time I order Popeyes, it's great if I go get it myself, but when it's delivered, there's just something like, I don't know.
You just remind me of my next small fish that I'm pissed about.
Which is?
Popeyes.
Okay,
so the Popeyes, the naked chicken tenders. They're my go-to when I go to Popeyes because it's only like 300 and something calories, like 40 grams of protein, and so macros really good. It's great for people like on a diet. Except the naked chicken tender is not available for delivery.
Why?
I have no idea. Popeyes offer it, but not
Mhm.
the delivery app offered as like an option.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I love chicken tenders, but as someone trying to escape obesity,
Right.
like I want these fake naked chicken tenders. Why is it not available for delivery? And no, I refuse to get in a car and wait in like the long
I'm not doing
drive-through
that.
at
I'm not
Popeyes.
doing
Yeah.
that. And they're the ones offering the service, so just bring me the
Yeah.
service.
Like I'll order it. Like please offer it to me. Like Popeyes, what's up? What's good?
You heard it here. Popeyes, what's up? What's good? When you order a salad, what kind of dressing do you like to put on?
Is this gonna something like you're not gonna like see eye to eye with me?
Okay.
I don't like dressing.
Okay, that's fine.
I feel like a lot of the dressing is like too tired and
Mhm.
oily, and
Mhm.
which I understand that's the whole purpose of a dressing.
Right.
But I'm someone who genuinely loves the taste of vegetables,
Mhm.
and I don't want dressing killing the taste for me.
Mhm.
So I would order either like super light dressing, or ask for dressing on the side and lightly dip my fork into it. So then there's just like a little kiss
Mhm.
of a dressing flavor in my bite. But I don't love dressing.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't. A lot of people, I think, like you said, they prefer the actual taste.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some people consider a chicken tender or a salad or whatever just to be a vessel to get the dressing into their body.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to actually eat dressing to enjoy the flavor of dressing. Yeah, we have a ranch dressing soda.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No.
And it's a way to actually taste the ranch without having to eat the salad or feel the texture.
That's amazing because that's all I was just about to say. Ranch is my favorite dressing.
Would you ever drink this?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
Well, you want to try it?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. I have an opener here for you, and I think you...
So I don't
tell
like
us.
dressing with my salad, but if there's a chicken wing and if there's a ranch,
It's a little bit different
over.
storyline.
It's over. Naked chicken tenders with ranch, it's over.
This is the ranch dressing soda, and Kim Chi's going to tell us what it tastes like.
All right.
And did you want to use one of your straws, or do you
Oh no, I'll
prefer
just
to-
raw dog it.
Oh, you're going to raw dog it.
Yeah.
This is very college.
It tastes like ranch.
It really does, huh?
It's like cream soda and ranch. Had a child, but then the ranch itself is a little stale tasting.
Okay. Do you taste like the chive? Do you taste the onion, the garlic?
I taste the chive. I taste the garlic. But I know that it's stale because I bought a whole package of like ranch seasoning from Costco before,
Mhm.
and I'll mix it with like Greek yogurt to make like healthy dressing or whatever. But then the rest of it just kind of sat in my pantry till it died, and it tastes exactly like the stale ranch powder seasoning.
Wait, you bought your packets at Costco. Do you like going to Costco?
I love Costco.
You do?
I love Costco.
What do you love about Costco?
Okay, so first of all, when I go into Costco, I know there's going to be my go-to products, but then for the rest of it, I never know what Costco's going to have.
Oh, they tell you what you want.
And I walk in, and when I go to Costco, it's the whole process. I walk down every aisle,
Mhm.
and I got to see every selection that they have. It doesn't even matter if I'm going to like need it or not. I just love seeing what I can get in bulk.
Yeah.
And I also love the fact that every Costco carries different products. So then if I go to Costco in Burbank, they would have different products than like the ones in San Gabriel Valley.
See, that's what we go. San Gabriel Valley.
Yes.
Pretty often. Yeah.
And they have all these like Asian and Mexican products that the other Costco's don't carry. And I'm like, oh, I can get like a whole thing of like chile, like
Mhm.
that I can like make birria with. And then I can get like a durian ice cream. And then they have like frozen dumplings.
Yep.
That's like Chinese branded. Oh my God, Costco, the world of possibilities, like endless. And I also love seeing when they give samples away,
Uh-huh.
you truly get to see like the dark side of like humanity.
For sure.
If they're like offering like sample of like a dumpling or Philadelphia cheesesteak, it really brings out the worst in people. This one time I saw this dad and a wife create a barricade holding their hands, blocking everybody out of the way from the sampling section so their entire family of 20 could get a sample.
Stop it.
And I was like, I just want to like walk to this aisle so I can get my like frozen salmon. Like, I don't even want this, but like they would not let us through. And there was also a competition over the rotisserie chicken one time.
Oh, people go crazy.
People go crazy because they are bringing fresh ones out, but people kept taking them. And this family took like 10 of them. And they literally got into a physical fight, like right in front of me
Wow.
over like rotisserie chicken. And I'm like, this is the best entertainment that I could have asked for.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
I used to be afraid of Costco because people are so crazy in there. Like that
Mhm.
is, but I do have my go-tos. Like one of the things I love there is we buy this big bag of deluxe mixed nuts, and it's the best, and it's so cheap.
What are the nuts? Are there Brazilian nuts in it?
There
Almonds?
are. There's
Oh.
everything. I mean, literally everything. Pistachios,
Mhm.
almonds. If you had to rank your favorite nuts in mixed nuts, like your top 3, what would they be?
First one is Brazil nuts
Mm-hmm.
and almond, because almond has like the best crunch.
Yeah.
And then cashews,
Okay.
and then hazelnut, and then walnut, and then peanuts.
Okay. I like that. What about a pistachio? Where does that land in there?
Oh, I do love pistachio, but I feel like pistachio is rarely in like the mixture of all the nuts.
Yeah, you're right.
But pistachio ranks pretty high for me.
Yeah. I also love at Costco, like Christmas time, they put all the like
Christmas like decorations and like big inflatable things that like I don't have a home for,
Right.
but I could if I had a family and a beautiful home
right
in another life.
in another life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw I guess like Costco and Sam's Club, they're always in competition to see
Mhm.
who has the cooler Halloween thing or whatever.
Mm.
And one of them had the 12-foot skeleton.
Whoa.
Huge.
Did you see the giant werewolf that like moves around?
I
The
want it so
animatronic
bad.
werewolf?
I want it so bad.
I'm like, this is so cool. And it was wearing like a flannel and jeans.
Yes. I like it. Do you watch horror films?
So I used to love horror movies when I was young, but I don't know, now that I'm older,
Uh-huh.
I can't watch gory things. It feels
Okay.
like it could be real.
Yeah, that's true.
And then one day I just like heard like random creaking in my home. And I was just like texting my friends, like, in case I die tonight, I love you guys.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I was crazy.
Was it a group chat?
It was an individual chat.
How do you feel about drag queen group chats?
I used to be in all sorts of like different group chats, and people would send like screen shady shots and things like that. Because I don't know, I loved thriving off other people's misery. But now I just like don't care anymore. I'm like, all right, your wig is busted. You do you, boo.
Yeah.
Like your lash is coming off at a gig, and someone took a photo. Whatever, you do you.
Yeah. You just let it go.
Then I just like don't get these kind of texts anymore, which is fine. You know.
You're fine with it. Well, I talked about shopping at Costco. What about shopping like in the airport? Maybe like with sharing needles. Like what would be have you ever
You heard about that lore?
Yeah, what's that?
When she was like so drunk and and then, I don't know, she gets a little too much when she drinks. So like I just ran into Gucci like to escape from Sharon. I was like, she's not gonna follow me in here, but she did follow me in there. And she's like, oh, let's steal things in there. And this manager was like looking at us like we were actually about to steal things from there. So then I just like ran out because I was like, I can't be associated with this.
Oh, we all do crazy things. It's fine. I actually have a phobia of going into any store and looking around and not buying something. And I feel like I have this anxiety that they think I stole something.
Oh, that's how I'm too. Like, I don't want to give anybody like a doubt in my mind. So when I'm in the store, I don't put my hand in my pocket. I don't even have like my purse. Like, I don't ever like reach in until like I'm like checking out. I don't want to give anyone a reason to suspicious.
Yeah. Even when I go to like a discount store, like if I go to like Ross or TJ Maxx, especially if I have something to return, and normally now you have to just get in one general line for everything. I'll like walk in and make a point of like setting the bag in the cart near the security guard and I'm like, let me tie this. Like I want them to know, like, I know you saw me and I'm tying this bag and I'm not stealing. I'm returning a shirt for $10. Like I have to make a point of it because I'm so scared.
You never know. Even like when I'm like walking or something and I don't want like woman around me to like feel threatened in case like she thinks I'm like after her or something. I would be like, so yeah, girl, you're looking great over there. Love your purse. Just, you know, like have to let her know. Like,
right.
I just don't want to ever be in a situation where like I get mistaken for something that I have like no intention of doing.
What are there any K-pop songs that I need to know? I want to know more about K-pop.
Oh, okay. There's so many.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you normally like?
Well, I love just general what people would call pop music. So I love, I guess like you would call a guilty pleasure is like, do you remember the song Jellyhead?
Jellyhead?
Over and over, I feel it. Na, na, na. You're a jellyhead.
I don't think so.
No? Okay, Jellyhead. The Venga Bus. The
Oh,
Venga
okay.
Bus. I love that. That's so easy.
Like fun party music.
Fun, yeah.
So I feel like a safe K-pop to get into when you're like just starting like to get into it is Blackpink.
Okay.
All of their music is really fun, quirky, and fun to like sing along to.
Mm-hmm.
I also really like this group called Zero Base One, but don't get into it unless you're like really ready to like.
Why? What happens?
No, it's just very like specifically niche. Not everyone's gonna like love it right off the bat.
Okay. Do you have K-pop posters on your walls?
I do not. I will support them and I will like appreciate their art, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna have a poster of them on the wall.
No. Do you collect anything? Is there anything like?
Oh my god, there's so many things I collect.
Really?
I was born in the year of the rabbit, so I collect a lot of rabbit things.
Oh, okay.
I collect useless figurines, and
Like?
just like little figurines. It feels like figurines of like a random food object with a face on it.
I like that.
Actually, I collect so many things to the point where I'm like, am I a hoarder?
I mean, I think people tend to think that like hoarders are people who only keep trash in their house. You know what I mean? I feel like those people who have like beautiful things, people are like, well, that's not a hoarder. They just have a collection.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is. But I will tell you, I recently got this and I think I have to give it to you. I didn't know it until right now. You said Year of the Rabbit, and I love cats, but I found this and it's a rabbit laying down.
Oh my god, it's
like
so
a cat,
cute.
and I want you to have it.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a rabbit. So
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
makes sense to me.
It'll fit in my home beautifully.
It'll just like in some little nook somewhere. Maybe no one sees it. Maybe it's behind a book or something.
No, it's going right in my counter. Thank you.
I'm glad you like
I
it.
love it.
What about games and like I know you play video games, but what about board games? Are you a board game person?
I love board games.
Okay, which
I
ones?
love board games. I finally found like a great community of people that are board game lovers here in LA. So I play board games with them probably like at least like twice a week.
Really?
Sometimes like 7 days a week. We play everything. I recently learned Terraforming Mars, which is really fun. We also playing like a lot of social deduction games like Blood on the Clock Tower. If you've never played it, it's like a game where you can play with up to 20 people.
Oh wow.
And then everyone gets a different role, and there's like a demon killing everybody, and you have to find out who the demon is and kill them.
Okay.
We play so many games, it's like crazy. And then we also do like a regular mahjong night twice a month.
Uh-huh.
I love games. It is like one of my biggest passion in life, and I love my friends who play board games with me.
What about something like Monopoly? Would you just play Monopoly?
I think Monopoly is a terrible game.
Okay.
I think it's really boring. And all you do is just throw the dice, and you keep throwing the dice till like everybody's
There's no thought.
There's no thought.
There
yeah.
is no. You're right.
If I'm playing like a classic board game, I'd rather play like Sorry or Life or Clue. But Monopoly is just like. Did you know that Monopoly was originally created to be a satire on capitalism?
I did not know that.
And then now it kind of become like this like whole capitalistic machine of like spinning off all these like branded monopolies. Like Hello Kitty Monopoly or
They have so many of them.
Yeah.
So many. Wait, what about, have you ever done with a group of people one of those like get locked in somewhere?
Escape rooms.
Yeah, have you done that?
I've done so many of them.
Yeah, I think you would probably do well in that.
I do great in them.
Yep, you're very cerebral.
When I'm on tour, there's people in crew and a few queens. We love going to escape rooms. So I've done escape rooms all around the world.
Wow.
Even like the crazy ones. There's like one in Melbourne where it's like a giant warehouse.
Uh-huh.
And then you get locked in it. And then there's like a zombie outbreak. And there's actual zombies chasing you. And you have to solve puzzles before zombies catch up to you.
No.
It sounds crazy, but it's really fun. And there's also another one where it's the whole mansion is an escape room.
Uh-huh.
And there's little ghosts that come out and like grab you and scare you.
Would you be like would you think you would ever be like a character in something like that?
I would love to, yeah.
Yeah.
I love escape rooms and haunted house and things like that.
Are you a Halloween person?
I love Halloween. I love fall.
Okay.
Especially like somewhere where like the leaves change, and especially like when I go to Korea, like in the fall, it's beautiful there. I feel like in California, you're kind of like summer 24/7.
Are there activities that you think that you prefer to do in the summer that you don't do? Like, are you a hiker? Do you like?
I'm not a big hiker.
Okay.
I love nature, but I don't love nature that much.
Uh-huh.
I feel like some gays are like, you know what would be really fun if you went hiking? And I'm like, you know what would be really fun if I met you after?
Yes. I like that. I will meet you at the end with
Yes.
some ice cold iced tea or something.
Exactly. Like, I'll
Yeah.
even bring the beverages, like, tell me, give me your orders. I'll bring them.
Right.
I'm waiting at the parking lot,
I love it. Kim Chi will be waiting in the parking lot.
Yes.
Let's take a break. Oh, hey, you found the new YouTube channel. Did you subscribe? I'm expecting you to subscribe. Subscribing is very Delta. We are back with Kim Chi. Now, this is the part of the show called Read Me Delta, where people send in their letters with questions or queries, or they are in the middle of a conundrum. So I don't know exactly what these hold, but we will find out. Read Me Delta! What about this? Dearest Delta and Kim Chi, do you love food like me? I love many different types of food, but I have a strong appreciation for food items that have fun names. For example, there's a chicken egg Japanese rice dish called
Oyakodon?
Yes, which literally translates to parent-child rice bowl. Poetic, no? I think so. Which brings me to my question to the both of you. Are there any food names you find poetic or just simply fun? Are there any foods you'd rename to have a poetic name? Are poetic food names very Delta or very Kim Chi? Sending lots of love, very fancy. I don't know. What about you? Do you any poetic names?
Pigs in a blanket.
That's funny.
I also really appreciate like a salmon niçoise salad.
Okay.
Especially when people try to be bougie with it, but they can't pronounce it.
Uh-huh.
I can spot them right away.
Uh-huh.
When I used to work as a server, there was like wine on the list called Abundance.
Okay.
And one time a customer asked if we could get a bottle of Abundance.
I know you're lying.
I wish I was. I wish I was.
Abundance.
Abundance.
Do you cook much?
I love cooking. I actually have a cookbook coming out later this year.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of recipes are in this?
It's called Kim Chi Eats the World.
Okay.
And it's going to be all the delicious food I've eaten around the world. So how to recreate some of those dishes in American kitchen using American ingredients.
Are there places around the world that you've been where you think like this is the cuisine, like you could always go to as a comfort food? Or
Taiwan is extremely underrated in terms of like cuisine. Because I feel like Americans, when we think of like traveling for food, we usually pick like Italy,
right,
France, or maybe like Japan when they're thinking about going to Asia. But Taiwan has such an underrated food scene. Even just like in the city of Taipei alone, there's over 30 different night markets. Each of them are like a mile long.
Wow.
And they're all cheap. So you just literally walk down the market, pick a bunch of food that you want to eat. And it's going to be some of the best food you've ever had. And you'll spend less than like $20 American.
That cheap.
Yeah.
That sounds so good. Anything homemade is going to be good. Anything that someone's passionate about, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like everyone I know is like, I don't cook, but I make these really great cookies, or I don't cook everything, but I make a really good spaghetti. I feel like when people are passionate about it, there's so much space to hold for it. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. I feel like every food like exists for a reason. Like, I don't care what you cook, as long as like you make it with love. And I'll eat anything as long as it's cooked properly. So
I cannot wait for your cookbook. I'm really
I'll send you a copy.
This is so exciting. It really is. It's something different. It's something you know about. And it's something that you are, and it's so interesting because I know you've talked about like quote unquote being a big girl or whatever, and you've obviously made different decisions, and you've lost weight and all of those things. And I hate addressing that with people because it's such a personal thing for people, and I don't think it's really anyone's business unless somebody talks about it. But it's also a place where you strike a balance because you do love food, and you love the idea of the passion that goes into that. So there's always this place where people, especially big people of size, whatever anyone wants to call it, when someone starts talking about food, they're like, well, of course you would. Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, it just doesn't always go hand in hand. Sometimes it is a way of showing love to people. Is food can be a love language for many cultures. Certainly both of our completely separate cultures, but
And food is like it's probably the easiest way to connect to people,
mhm,
to see like how people eat and see what they like. And then when you're hanging out with people that you don't are familiar with, what's the first thing you do? You go get food with them. I feel like it's so easy for people to like tell like obese or fat people like, oh, just stop eating. But like it's not that easy. Everybody eats, like skinny
right,
people eat, fat people eat, like we all eat.
right.
Body image is such like a weird thing because when I was bigger, I feel like all anybody could focus on was like my size. And it doesn't matter like what I did.
Right.
There's always something negative to be said about my body.
Mhm.
And then even when you lose weight, then people are talking about like
They do.
oh like she's on Ozempic, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Just like it doesn't matter what I do. People are just never going to be happy with my body, and that's fine.
Well, it's interesting how many people will invite themselves into a conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with them. It
Mm-hmm.
does not affect anything that's happening in their life whatsoever. And they're like, well, what you should be doing. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not. I'm not. Or maybe I will. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? But why people just, they would never go to someone out of nowhere and say, this is what you need to be doing to be making more money and you need to
Mm-hmm.
buy a house. You need to be on this insurance. Nobody does that. But it's sort of that last frontier where people are like, well, we can still josh and joke and be like, hey, big girl, let's go do this. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you know what? Me personally, I'm probably eating the same amount of food that I would normally eat. I'm just not getting up off my ass. I'm a lazy bitch. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's that simple. And so, I could introduce that into my life if I wanted to, and I probably should, because I've got one foot in the grave, you know what I mean? Like, and ugly shoes as well. But, whatever. Stop being nosy about who's losing weight and who's not losing weight and how they're losing it. Also, like the conversation where people are like, um, well, that person's doing it the easy way. Hey, man, there's no easy way. If you've got 5 pounds to
Mm-hmm.
lose or 100 pounds to lose, it's the same for everybody. It's
true.
hard.
Yeah.
I want some pancakes.
Yeah.
That'll fix everything.
I want some
Put
pancakes.
food on your pain.
Actually, I don't want pancakes that much. You know what I want right now? A Jersey Mike's.
Jersey, I still haven't had Jersey Mike's.
How have you, of all people?
Can I tell you why? Because I want a foot long sandwich, but I don't want a 15-inch long sandwich. And I feel like if I get to 6-inch sub is probably plenty of food for they say the normal human stomach is like this big, right? 2
Mhm.
fists put together. Well, if the 6-inch sub is that big, I should be full. And I probably am full.
But if you think about it though, the bread is fluffy.
Right.
And the vegetables have like a lot of things. So after you chew it down, what actually goes into your stomach is going to be like smaller than like whatever the food size was, after it gets compressed down. So, don't feel too bad about.
Whatever happened to the $5 foot long? Do you remember that?
I know. Oh my God. And now it's like a $20 foot long. Everything is like $20 minimum now.
Yes, everything. Oh my gosh, that's what I didn't ask you. I've only eaten at Chipotle one time in my life. You have a special card.
I do.
What is this?
Unlimited Chipotle, once a day. And I can also get like drink and chip and guac with it too.
Why do you have this?
It was like a whole lore because like I used to eat so much Chipotle, especially like back then. Chipotle was like $7 and I could go in and get like so much food and make like 2 meals out of it. And when you're like a broke drag queen just trying to live, Chipotle was like the way to go.
It's a pretty healthy option too, depending upon how you structure it.
Yeah, so I would get like a bowl and then ask for like tortilla on the side. So then I would eat half the bowl and then put the rest in the tortilla, roll it up, and have a burrito the next day.
I love it.
So I could like really stretch my meal. So when I went on Drag Race, I talked about like my only goal in life is make enough money to afford guac at Chipotle without worrying about the price.
Mm-hmm.
And then one thing led to another. I made a video with Trixie where she talked about how she got PR from Chipotle, and I was like deeply hurt by it.
Oh my God.
Then eventually Chipotle ended up sending me a PR, and they also gave me like a national pride campaign.
Wow.
So I love Chipotle. Love you.
We love Chipotle.
But you've only had it once.
I've only had it once.
Is there a reason?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm such a creature of habit. Like, I have such a hard time trying something new.
Yeah.
And I literally eat at the same places all the time and I order the exact same thing every time.
I understand.
It's such a weird. But there was also this thing where for a while where people were trying to like kind of go crazy on Chipotle and say like there was a portion issue or whatever. And we just talked about this earlier. Nothing is for free. Like Chipotle is not in business to just go, we're giving away everything. You don't make makeup and go, I'm giving everybody on the planet. And I know a portion of your proceeds from every one of your sales goes to the Trevor Project.
Yes, it does.
And so that is something that a lot of companies do not do. So you're already doing that. And it's just so weird how people are like, well, I actually need more and I want it for free. It's like, well, then why don't you open a business then and you give it away for free and tell us how easy it is?
Let's fight the real enemy here.
Right.
Like the enemy is not a Chipotle worker, that's like putting your bowl together. Like if you want something, just ask for more.
Yeah. And it's also not, a missing ounce of chicken. This says, dearest Delta and sensuous guest. But I remember a girl used the word and she said, sensuous. Sensuous. That's sensuous. Dearest Delta and sensuous guest. If you became a ghost and had to wear the outfit you were buried in for eternity, what outfit would you choose? Thank you for holding the space for ghosts and frying the small fish every week. Love, very Jess. If you were a ghost.
I guess the question is like, would other people see me as a ghost? And would I feel discomfort as a ghost? If no one sees me and if I feel discomfort, then like sweatpants.
That's where I was going with it.
Or even naked. But if like people saw me, I probably want to look as gruesome as possible. I want like eyeballs hanging out, like part of my like thing missing, like whatever I'm wearing just like burnt and disheveled. Just so I can see people scream when they see me. And I would do my best to scare as many people in the world as possible. Yeah. I'm already dead, so you know what?
Right.
Let me just spice up my life a little bit.
Right. Do you believe in ghosts?
Never say never, but I don't know if I do.
Okay.
Do you?
I do, but I've never seen one. But I do believe that there's something else.
Yeah, because I thought about it. So, like, in the entirety of, like, humanity on Earth, there's been, like, billions of people, right? And then if you take into, like, the entire universe into consideration, there's, like, so many, like, souls out there. So then when they die, and if they all become souls, like, is the universe enough to store all these souls? Like, wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it be easier for the universe just to, like, evaporate the souls as opposed to like have them just like linger,
right? Like well, and the Cranberries asked, do you have to let him finger? Do you have to get fingered?
Oh, I guess you don't have to get fingered.
You don't have to, but I mean, it is.
But we prefer to get
option.
fingered. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
I had a blast, and it was such an honor to be here.
Stop.
I was like actually scared of our like coming on here because I don't know if you remember this. It happened like over 10 years ago.
What?
It was so stupid, but back then I was just like young, dumb, and I would just like tweet whatever. And one time I tweeted, what would be the worst idea for a drag show ever? Like Night of 100 Adeles.
I don't remember that.
And what I didn't know was literally the night before you had like a Adele like tribute night.
I totally don't remember that.
And then people were like, "Oh, she's shading Delta," and I genuinely had like no idea. I was just like implying that like, oh, drag show full of nothing but ballads would be like so stupid,
But I will tell you, I actually recently did a night. What was it? It was a Valentine's Day dinner centered around Adele music, and I was like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna, because no shade to Adele, love you to death, but like the tempo is very mid, like it's right, you know what I mean? And I was like, how is anyone gonna be the girls that? Because I was just booked to be in the show with another cast of people. They figured this out, and they had remixes.
Okay,
they were bringing all these different levels to it, like live perform, and I was like, okay. Queens will figure it out.
It's
like
true.
They will figure this out to make it work for them. That makes so much sense.
So it's like while these like lovers are sitting for Valentine's dinner, you're like, treat her better.
Right. There's actually some account on YouTube where the person made an Adele song sound like it was like an 80s song.
Oh.
It was really fierce. So one of the entertainers did that.
Gotta give it up for drag queens.
Gotta give it up. Well, thank you for being here. This was fun.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you for
it.
having
Cannot
me.
wait to hear about the book. And of course, everyone can find you on social media. Kim Chi Chic Beauty. Is there anything else you want people to know where to find you?
You can follow me on TikTok, Kim Chi's, or you can follow me on Instagram, kimchi_chic. I actually have 2 books coming out this year. One is a cookbook. The other is a young adult novel called Library Avengers. So please check it out when it comes out.
A young adult's novel.
Yeah.
Did it take forever to write?
Yeah, it's been in the work for like a year and a half now.
Wow.
So I was up in my feelings reading about how like a lot of the public libraries are losing their funding. So then I tweeted about how much like public libraries meant to me, and as someone like who grew up like poor and like an immigrant, like library was like a great resource. And then that tweet ended up going like viral amongst like librarians. And all these like librarians from all around the world were like messaging me like, thank you so much for speaking up for us. That means a lot. And then the publisher reached out to me and said, would you like to write a young adult novel about saving the local library?
Wow.
And then that's how it came about.
That's so fierce.
Yeah.
That is so fierce. I love it. We're going to look forward to it.
Well, thank you so much.
Love. Today on Very Delta, we learned that as you eat your way through life, you have to do it with abundance. We'll see you next week, and until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Danielle Mitchell. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cole. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. Entertainers, promote the shows!
Mom!
Watch Very Delta uncensored, ad-free, and a day early by subscribing to Mom Plus Gold. Sign up today at mompodcast.plus for premium content, including weekly episodes of more Very Delta.